Hello, everyone out there in YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego. And today we're going to continue to talk about Black Adam. That's right, Black Adam, that new movie that came out this weekend starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. All right. Yes, I actually enjoyed the movie, but not as much as I wanted to. That's the biggest problem I have. I don't hate the movie. It's not a terrible movie. I've seen worse, a lot worse. Okay, but it wasn't great. It wasn't epic, and I expected it to be epic. They spent 15 years on this fucking movie. They got a big movie star, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, to be in this movie. There was so much they could have done. They could have been something original. They could have actually had the bad guy as the main character, and an evil guy as the main character. Okay, and the antagonists are actually the good guys. They got to find a way to bring him down. Okay, that's not what we got, and I knew that wasn't what was good because Hollywood's not going to allow that. Okay, they can't have an evil person as the main character, even though it's been done before. I mean, look at Hannibal Lecter. I mean, look at Freddy Krueger in the Nightmare on Elm Street movies and the Friday the 13th movies. Fucking the Child's Play movies, for Christ's sake, the Chucky movies. Okay, yes, you can have the main character be evil and have a rotating cast of fucking superheroes that he has to fight in every movie. You can do that. That would have been great. But no, because something I'm pretty sure it has to do with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson's his contract, his brand, that he can't be portrayed as an evil person. When was the last time The Rock played an evil person? What was it? Get Smart? And that was like 10 years ago. I mean, I know he was the Scorpion King, but that was just in The Mummy Returns. That was the first movie he ever did. Okay, so he's he's got to play the leading man. He's got to play the hero in every fucking movie. He can't be portrayed as the villain. If you ever do see The Rock play a villain, an actual real fucking evil villain in a movie, that means his career has gone down and he's just taking jobs now. Okay, but he's not nowhere near that. Okay, his career is way the fuck up there right now. So that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. All right, so of course I knew he was going to portray Black Adam as a good guy. I fucking knew it, and it was confirmed when I saw the movie. Okay, yeah, he's basically playing a good guy disguised as a bad guy, and that shit just doesn't fucking work. That's not Black Adam. That's not his character at all. That's not who the fuck he is. That's not how he was created. They tried it in the comic books in the '90s and the early 2000s. It did not work. The fans wanted an evil fucking Superman to fight. Okay, which is what Black Adam is, way before Homelander. Now, Homelander, one of the reasons that show is so good is one of the main characters, Homelander, on The Boys, is because he's an evil motherfucker. And who the fuck can fight him? Nobody. He's an evil son of a bitch. And who the fuck? Nobody can fight him. Nobody. The only reason the good guy, the supposed good guys, okay, don't defeat him is because they're still alive. Is because of plot armor. If this was real, if that show The Boys was realistic, Homelander would have fucking hunted them down. All of them. They got no powers. He would have hunted all of them down and wiped them all out easily in the first episode. That would have been it. But then that would have been the end of the show. So they got to find ways of keeping these humans that are fighting the superhumans alive, so they can continue to harass and maybe someday find a way to destroy Homelander forever. Come on. That gets old. It's a great show, but that whole plot gets old after a while. Okay, and with Black Adam, I knew they weren't going to make him really evil, like he is in the comic books. He's fucking evil. Okay, in 2005, I think it was, or 2007, something like that. It might have been 2008. They did the New 52 storyline. Okay, in the DC Comics, and in that one, fucking Black Adam went on a fucking rampage. After his wife died and his brother-in-law died, he went on a fucking rampage and started massacring all sorts of people. Of course, the Justice Society got involved. He was a former team member of it. Yeah, he was a superhero for a while. Yeah. Okay. As a former team member, they felt obligated to fucking bring him in to stop the rampage, and they couldn't stop him. He was too powerful. It took a team of villains to stop him. And even then, he got out. He got out because Atom Smasher let him out. And of course, once he got out, he went on a fucking rampage again. And then Atom Smasher still fucking saved his ass after he finally was defeated by Captain Marvel. Finally defeated him. All right. But yeah, he went on a rampage. He killed a lot of superheroes. He killed a lot of fucking innocent people. He just wiped out an entire country of people. Okay. For something, the leaders had attacked his country and killed his wife and his brother-in-law. But it was the leaders that made that decision. He took it out on the whole fucking country. He wiped out all the people that lived in that country, and then he started attacking other countries too that dared to stop him, from continuing the massacre. And then of course he attacked his own teammates, the JSA. Okay, he works that way as a bad guy. At the time, Superman was in retirement for a year, so nobody could really stop him. It took Captain Marvel had to stop him, and he couldn't stop him by himself. He had to fucking get help. But the point is that he works. Black Adam works as a bad guy. He is the bad guy. That's why he's drawn as a bad guy. He's evil. He's not what Dwayne Johnson portrayed him as. Okay, that's not Black Adam. He was basically a guy who's stoic, angry a lot. But come on, would Dwayne Johnson, would his Black Adam kill a group of kids if they were stopping him from fucking killing a group of adults? No. In the comic book Black Adam would have wiped out everybody. Didn't matter. He would have done that fucking Anakin Skywalker on these fucking kids. Okay, but no. This, of course, he's not gonna hurt a kid. No, he's only gonna fucking kill the evil fucking human beings that are shooting him with guns that do absolutely no damage to him at all. He's gonna kill them. It's just like, come on. No collateral damage either, right? Come on. The only time we ever see Black Adam do anything evil is in the very beginning of the movie, where they're doing the prologue, where the kid is narrating the story of Black Adam, the champion of Kahndaq. And they show him there, all Black Adam'd up, steroided out. He walks into this fucking palace, and he basically blows it up. All right, that's all we see. Okay, now obviously the palace was full of people. Not all of them could have been evil. So obviously there must have been some good people that were in that palace. They died. There were collateral damage. That's the only time we ever see Black Adam do anything bad. The rest of the time he's only killing bad guys. Which come on, I mean, that's almost every fucking, that's fucking John McClane from Die Hard, that's fucking John Rambo, that's fucking John Matrix, all the Johns, that the fucking action heroes have played. They're always killing bad guys. That's the Punisher, right? The Punisher does that. The superhero Punisher. That's all he does. He fucking just blows away fucking bad guys. He doesn't fucking send them to jail. He doesn't let the cops arrest them. He fucking just kills them all. That's a lot. It's Venom. Venom, even though he was a bad guy too, he started off as a bad guy and they turned him into an anti-hero. That's what an anti-hero is. He's just a bad guy that fucking, he's not really a bad guy. He just kills. He kills, which good guys don't do. He kills, but he only kills evil people. I mean, that's the TV show Dexter. I mean, what the fuck? Who gives a shit about that? Don't proclaim yourself as a bad guy if you're only going to kill evil people. I mean, that's not a good thing to do, but who the fuck is going to fucking really hate you for that, If you're over here killing pedophiles and rapists, and child killers, then you're a good guy. What the fuck? So yeah, so don't promote this guy as he's a fucking evil, he's an anti-hero. Black Adam is not an anti-hero. He's not they tried it for a few years in the comic, it did not work. That's why they made him evil again. Because he works as a villain, he does not work as a good guy. You've already got a good guy with the exact same fucking powers. It's Shazam. It's Captain Marvel, the real Captain Marvel. Not that piece of shit, I hate straight white men, Brie Larson Captain Marvel from Marvel Universe. No, not that piece of shit. No, the Captain Marvel, Shazam. Billy Batson, says the word. Yeah, that's Captain Marvel. It's got the same powers. Only his are from the Greek gods. Black Adam's are from the Egyptian gods. That's the only difference. Okay, so that pisses me off. All right, so that's not Black Adam. Now, let's actually talk about the movie now. Now that I got that out of the way, I talked about that a bit in the past few movies. Now, I did remember, if you remember a couple of videos ago, I did tell you that this is an ongoing story right now with Black Adam. I told you that the head of the DCU, Walter Hamada, got fired over the weekend. Okay, well, guess what? I was correct when I told you that there's a lot of developments happening while I'm doing this review for the movie. Well, a development happened last night. Okay, there is a new head of DCEU. Okay, it's not called DCEU anymore. The DC Extended Universe, not called that anymore. Now it's called DC Films. And the new head is James Gunn. Now, if you know who James Gunn is, for those of you who don't know, James Gunn is responsible for the Suicide Squad movie from last year, the one from 2021. He did that movie. Okay, but before that, the reason he did that movie was because he got fired from Marvel. He did the Guardians of the Galaxy Part 1 and Part 2. He is responsible for those movies. And then someone dug up, during the Me Too era, they dug up his tweets. Okay, and he had made some tweets about sex with minors. I'll just tell you, just that, all right? He made some tweets about sex with minors, a lot more than one, which he deleted, but obviously once it's on the internet, it's there forever. Okay, so yeah, so when those tweets came to light, I think it was 2018 or something. Alan Horn, who back then was the #2 guy at Disney. Okay, the #1 guy was Bob Iger. Okay, and then under him was Alan Horn. Then under him and Marvel was Kevin Feige. Okay, well, Alan Horn, once he found out about those tweets, once he read some of those tweets, because they got exposed online, and James Gunn is a sick motherfucker. Honestly, he is. A lot worse than anything Roseanne ever fucking said. Okay, and once Alan Horn heard that, he saw the tweets, he fired him. Now, James Gunn was in the middle of making Guardians of the Galaxy Part 3, and then they fired him. Okay, so what does he do? DC immediately, Warner Bros. Immediately swept him up and gave him The Suicide Squad, because the original Suicide movie did not land well with audiences. They didn't like it. Okay, they promoted the hell out of fucking Jared Leto's Joker, and he only had like fucking 4 minutes of screen time in the movie. He wasn't even the main bad guy, so that pissed off a lot of people. It was a bait and switch. All right, so they wanted to keep the concept of Suicide Squad going, but now that that James Gunn got fired from Marvel, they hired him. Okay, they hired him to do a new Suicide Squad, which unfortunately was a better movie than the original Suicide Squad, the David Ayer cut, but it didn't ring well with audiences didn't go see it. It was the middle of COVID, everyone was still wearing masks and shit, so it didn't make a lot of money. It did not make a lot of money. Luckily for him, he decided to take the John Cena's character, Peacemaker. He decided to take that guy and give him his own TV show. And of course, he cast his girlfriend in it as the main woman on the show. That cute, I can't remember her name right now, but the cute blonde girl, that's his girlfriend in real life. Okay, now James Gunn, she's 35. I forgot her name. She's 35 and he's 56. So of course, that's his girlfriend. Yeah, hypergamy working for you, ain't it, James Gunn? Yeah. Okay, anyway, so as long as he's got a career, she's got a career. I'll put you that way, okay? And she was the main love interest in Peacemaker, the TV show. Okay, even though nothing happened, that's the girl that fucking Peacemaker's trying to win over throughout the entire show. Okay, and the show was funny. I'll give you that. The show was funny, despite the fact there was a lot of rip-off elements. Obviously, the character of Vigilante, he's a very serious bad guy. They portrayed him already on the Arrowverse show, on Arrow. They portrayed him already. He was a serious bad guy. He kills people. Okay, well, in Peacemaker, that same character is a joke. He's basically Deadpool now. Okay, they turned him into a fucking Deadpool. Okay, now James Gunn himself, like I said, those tweets he said were really fucking bad. He did publicly apologize, but he accepted the fact that he got fired. So Warner Brothers scooped him up immediately and started giving him work. He did the Suicide Squad, which I thought was a very good movie. I love Sylvester Stallone as King Shark, but it did not make a lot of money. But they did not give up on him. They immediately gave him the Peacemaker TV show, which was successful and it was pretty good. I gotta admit, I did like Peacemaker. It was kind of funny, although I did see a lot of rip-off elements in there. Some of it was unbelievable. And yes, his girlfriend, James Gunn's girlfriend, was a main character on that show. Okay, obviously he's gonna give her a main character part because he's fucking her. Okay, or she's fucking him. Okay, hypergamy, like I said. Okay, the show was pretty good. All right, so now they got Alan Horn quit. He quit and he went to go work for Warner Brothers now. Yeah, he did. He quit. He's a consultant now, helping out David Zaslav kill everybody, fire everybody over there. But Marvel did offer James Gunn a return. They said, "Hey, sorry about that." They apologized to him. They never apologized to Roseanne and gave her back her show, but they did apologize to James Gunn for making fucking sexual tweets about little kids. They did apologize to him for that, and they gave him his job back. So now he came back to Marvel. He's doing Guardians of the Galaxy 3 right now. Once he's done with that, he will immediately go back to DC. And the reason he's going back to DC is because last night it was announced that James Gunn is now the head of DC Films. He's the Kevin Feige of DC Universe now, so he will answer to David Zaslav, the head of Discovery. They own Warner Brothers now, so he's basically in charge of all the superhero movies, okay, at DC, which means that from now on, there's going to be a lot of colors, a lot of fucking sex jokes, a lot of pop songs that don't cost too much money from the 70s and 80s, okay, are going to turn up in these fucking movies. They're all going to be superhero movies / comedies, okay? That's what they're all going to be. Basically, Guardians of the Galaxy, just imagine that. Find some obscure fucking song from the 70s, okay? And it's gonna appear in these fucking new DC superhero movies, okay? There's gonna be sex jokes in there. There's gonna be talking animals, talking vegetation, all that shit. Characters are gonna be having sex with blue skin, orange skin, and green skin people. All that shit's gonna fucking happen, okay? No more dark. No more dark. All right. So that just got announced. So we'll see what he does with his new job. Okay. But me personally, and I'll tell you right now exactly why he was forgiven in Hollywood. He was uncanceled because he hates Trump. That's it. He hates Trump. He's very outspoken about the fact that he fucking hated Donald Trump. And of course, everyone in Hollywood also hates Donald Trump. Well, the ones that are talking. Anyone that wants to keep their career in Hollywood is not going to say shit. Okay, all the people that did vote for Trump in Hollywood aren't going to say a goddamn thing because they know what will happen to their careers if they do. Okay, look at Gina Carano. Look what happened to her. Okay, look at James Woods. Okay, James Woods doesn't give a fuck because he's already super rich. Okay, but yes. Okay, well, why do you think all these fucking celebrities are leaving Hollywood right now? Tom Hanks left Hollywood, even though he's a fucking libtard. Mark Wahlberg just announced that he's leaving Hollywood. Okay, all these people are leaving Hollywood. They're all leaving California. Okay. So yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Okay. But yeah, that's the reason he was forgiven. Roseanne was not forgiven because she voted for Trump. Okay. But of course, James Gunn hates Trump. So of course, he's still got a career. Okay. You can still spin it where, now he's the head of fucking DC films. Yeah. So you fail upwards. Okay. In Hollywood. All right. It's all about who you vote for. It's not about how good you are. It's all about who you vote for. All right. Yeah. That's Hollywood for you. That's Hollywood for you. Okay. All right, anyway, let's get into the movie now, okay? Black Adam, okay, the movie that came out this weekend, okay? Let's go over the cast real quick. Most of you already know who they are. Okay, this movie, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson plays Black Adam. He's never portrayed a superhero before. This is his first time. He's busting his cherry. He's getting his cherry popped here as a superhero. Even though he's not technically a superhero, he's supposed to be a fucking supervillain, but he's going to play it as a superhero. Of course he is, because he's The Rock. He's not going to play a bad guy. Come on. And shit like that always pisses me off. You need to fucking, whoever wrote this fucking script, you need to fucking commit to the character. You need to commit to it. It's like the people that wrote the Venom script, okay? The Venom is not a fucking a good guy. He's an evil motherfucker. That's what he is. Look at him. Does he look like a good guy? No, he's fucking evil as fuck. He eats your fucking brains. He eats the brains of his enemies. That's what he does. He's not a good guy. Neither is his host. They're not good people. Eddie Brock is not a good person. Okay? Venom's not a good person. The suit's not a good person. Okay? Black Adam's not a good person. He does what he has to do. If he loses his temper, he will fucking kill anybody. He wants to because he fucking feels like it. He sees himself as a god. He's got the powers of a god. He sees himself as God. He's above the laws of mortals because he's not mortal. You see what I mean? All right. So Black Adam, of course, is there. This woman named Sarah Shahi, she plays Adriana, who is like the love interest, or will be Adriana Tomaz. She's the middle-aged, beautiful Egyptian woman who will eventually be the love interest, who becomes the superhero Isis. She's the one that becomes Isis in the DC Comics folklore. Okay, but not in this movie, she doesn't. But I mentioned in the last video that in the comic books, he fell in love with a woman, okay, and shared his powers with her, and she became Isis. Okay, she's the one that will eventually, if they make a sequel, which they will, because this movie's making money, she will become the love interest, and she will become Isis, okay? And of course, she's a single mom, because that's cool. All right, her son is named Amon, I think his name is, yeah. Who is her son? Some fucking kid. Yeah, Amon, and he's played by a guy named Bodhi Sabugingu. I know I didn't pronounce that right. I guess he's Indian, because Bodhi, that's Indian. All right, so that's Amon. Now in the comic books, that was her little brother. That was not her fucking son. But of course, single moms, right, are strong. Are the strongest thing in the world, right? Okay, yeah. So yeah. And of course he's a fucking kid. They're ripping off the Terminator 2 thing. He's the kid on the skateboard. Who you have to identify with. The kids that are in the audience that need to identify with him. Okay, that's your POV for the movie. Okay, he's the one that narrates the intro that explains to you Black Adam's origin. Okay, he's the kid, so we already know nothing's gonna happen to him. Okay, he's safe. He's safe. Okay, he's the POV for the audience. All right, for the kids that are in the audience watching this movie, he's the POV. Okay, and then we got other characters from the DCU. Atom Smash. Now this movie does not have the balls to bring the Justice League in there. Of course, even though the Justice League appeared at the end of Peacemaker, the TV show, they don't have the balls to show them in a Black Adam movie. Can you imagine Black Adam had to fight the Justice League? The Superman and Black Adam fight alone would have been a movie by itself. Okay, but no. So they bring fucking the B team, the Justice Society, which we've never heard of before. They've never been introduced in the movie universe yet, but they're being introduced here. So you get the B superheroes to take on an A-list villain. Yeah, who's actually really a good guy. He's not really a villain. Okay, get the fuck out of here with that. I don't like that at all. Okay. Having said that, I do like some of the characters in the JSA. I always have. All right. So here we're introduced to JSA. We got Atom Smasher, okay, played by a guy named Noah Senting. I don't know who the fuck he is. Atom Smasher is a Jewish guy named Arnold Rothstein, okay? In the comic books, his grandpa was a superhero called the Atom. Now, the Atom, he had not radioactive powers, but he had some sort of nuclear powers that allowed him to, whenever he was a short guy, he's a little guy. He was like maybe 5'2" or something. But whenever he punched someone, it was a superhuman punch. So it would blow things up when he punched somebody. Okay, he had atomic energy in his fists. All right, and he has some super strength as well. Not on the level of like Superman or something, but that's what he was. His name was Al Pratt. That was his secret identity. Was Al Pratt, short guy, short Jewish guy, who became the Atom. He was a short little motherfucker, but he packed a big punch. All right, he was part of the JSA back in the 1940s because that's how old he is. Yeah, the 1940s. There was a JSA comic book back then in the 1940s, and the Atom was a character in there. He was a member of that team. Okay, I already described his powers. Well, in this movie, that character is portrayed by Fonzie. Yeah, the Fonz. We see him on his cell phone. He's FaceTiming with his nephew, with his grandson, who's the new Atom Smasher. He's not called the Atom, though. His grandson's not called the Atom. He's called Atom Smasher because there's already a superhero called the Atom. Atom number 2, that's Ray Palmer. Now, for those of you who follow the Arrowverse, basically he's Ant-Man. He can shrink down into the microscopic universe and have adventures in the microscopic universe, okay? He actually predates Ant-Man. Ant-Man is a ripoff of the Atom. The second Atom, that's Ray Palmer. He was portrayed on the Arrowverse shows in Legends of Tomorrow by Brandon Routh, who played Superman in the Superman Returns, God awful, the gay bar Superman from 2006, I think it was. Yeah. Anyway, that movie flopped sort of his career, so he ended up playing the Atom, Ray Palmer, who does shrink down, but he's basically a replacement for Iron Man in the Arrowverse. They turned the Atom, who has nothing to do with wearing a suit of armor, they turned him into a suit of armor wearing guy because they were trying to get like an Iron Man type character for the show. Okay, yeah, which is not who Ray Palmer is, but he was officially Ray Palmer in there, and he does shrink down and turn giant. Okay, and the Atom number 2, he was invented in the Silver Age. That's Ray Palmer. Okay, so this kid is not Atom number 3. He's actually Atom Smasher because there's already, and actually, to be honest with you, the second Atom, the one that shrinks down and grows, that guy is actually more popular than the first Atom, the one that Henry Winker's playing in this movie. Okay, and then the Golden Age Atom from the 1940s. He's more popular. So they already associate the Atom with a guy that can shrink down into microscopic size. He appeared in the Super Friends, that kind of thing. So this guy is Atom Smasher. He's the grandson of the Atom, Al Pratt. Okay, and he's basically your basic beta male. He's scared of girls, but when he puts on the suit, he kind of looks like Deadpool a little bit. So this is their Deadpool character, but he's not nearly as funny, and he's a beta male. He's scared of girls. This is his first mission ever, in the superhero suit using his powers. He gets nervous. He doubts himself. He's always fucking hungry. Like there's a dramatic scene where the JSA is trying to calm down Black Adam and get him to surrender on his own. He's standing there with a bucket of fucking chicken, just eating, like stealing the scene. And another superhero's like, hey, dude, like Dr. Fate gets rid of the bucket of chicken. Like, come on, man. Well, you're eating a bucket. You're eating KFC right now where we're fucking trying to convince this guy not to kill us all and surrender. It's just like stupid shit like that. Once he meets the girl, Cyclone, of course, he's crazy about her. He's standing where do you know, think maybe you and I could, okay, I'll stand over here. He's very fucking doubting himself, very insecure. He's just your fucking beta male asshole, okay, because they have to do that in this show, okay? That's fucking the Atom Smasher. For a guy who's supposed to be smashing things, he's a pussy. All right, and then you got a Dr. Fate, who's probably the best character in this movie, better than Black Adam, played by Pierce Bronson. Yeah, Remington Steele. Yeah, I watched that show too. Yeah, okay, yeah, from the 80s. Yeah, we all know who Pierce Bronson is. He was James Bond from the 90s. You know, he was also Mrs. Doubtfire. He was a love interest for Sally Field, Mrs. Doubtfire. He was also a Lawnmower Man, a Stephen King story, which had almost nothing to do with the Stephen King story. Yeah, he played a guy who created virtual reality in the early 90s. Yeah, with Jeff Fahey was the fucking guy. Yeah, who puts himself in the virtual world. Yeah, a lot of crazy shit in the early 90s. But anyway, yeah, Pierce Bronson, we all know who he is. He actually steals the movie. Honestly, in my opinion, he steals the movie. If you look at the other people that review this movie, they all say great things about Pierce Bronson. He did an incredible job as Dr. Fate. Now, Dr. Fate is basically, when you watch this movie, you will notice the similarities between him and Doctor Strange. They're basically the same guy with the same powers. Wait a minute. That's Doctor Strange. No. Okay. Okay. I will give you this. Yes, Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange. He did show up in the movies first. Okay? You met him first. But if you want to get technical, okay, Doctor Strange was created by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, the same guys, the exact same two guys that created Spider-Man. Hence his appearance in Spider-Man No Way Home. Okay, he was created in the 60s. Okay, he was a ripoff of Dr. Fate. Okay, Dr. Fate came first with his fucking helmet. He was in the 40s. Kent Nelson was in the 40s. Okay, the helmet gives him his supernatural powers, his master of sorcery and shit. Okay, I don't know that much about Dr. Fate, but I do know that. Okay, so yes, he was a member of the JSA back in the 1940s. Yes, this character has been around for fucking 80-something years. Okay, yes. Okay, so yes, Dr. Fate came first, okay? Stan Lee was not that original, okay? If DC Comics had it, he created a Marvel version of it. They ripped off each other. Both companies ripped off each other. Okay, if Marvel created something original, DC Comics ripped it off and created the same thing in their universe, okay? So both companies are ripping off each other all the time. Doctor Strange is a ripoff of Dr. Fate. Dr. Fate came first, okay? And honestly, he does it better. Okay, when you watch Benedict Cumberbatch fucking talk, I don't know he sounds like he's a fucking anchorman from fucking from CBS or ABC or some shit. He doesn't sound like a fucking guy from New York. Okay, that happens to be a doctor of the Sorcerer Supreme. Okay, he's just got that's because Benedict Cumberbatch's American accent comes from watching American news, CNN. The way they speak there is how Americans speak. That's the American accent. You get it from Anchorman on the news. That's where the American accent comes from. So he just copied that. That's why fucking Doctor Strange sounds like he should be fucking doing the news instead of fucking conjuring spells. But I digress. Okay, the point is, Kent Nelson, that's Pierce Bronson's character. He's Dr. Fate. He's actually really cool. He's got a cool costume, cool powers. He's got the same powers as Doctor Strange. Okay, he can make multiples of himself already, just like Doctor Strange. But he can also see the future, which Doctor Strange can't do. He sees the future. That's the power that he has. We find out that he's over 100 years old. He first got his powers during World War I. He was in that war. Okay, so he's actually older than his comic book character is. Okay, then he's actually older than the character itself in the comic books. All right, like I said, Dr. Fate was created during World War II. Okay, not World War I. Okay, so he's very old. He's got these supernatural powers. He can see the future, which he sees that kind of as a burden, but he's a really cool character, very well played. He's got a butler too. He's older man, distinguished. He wears the fucking the ascot, instead of a tie. I mean, he's a distinguished British gentleman. He's really fucking cool. He is really fucking cool. Okay, he should be the leader of the team, but he's not. He's got the most experience. He's the oldest one, and he's very powerful. He's not as powerful as Black Adam, of course, but he's very powerful with what he can do. Okay, a typical villain couldn't fight a Dr. Fate, but Black Adam's not a typical villain. He's an anti-hero. Okay, yeah, right. Okay, so he's there. He's really cool. Pierce Bronson did a great job. Mr. Remington Steele himself. Was that with Kate Jackson or was that with Scarecrow and Mrs. King? Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck cares, right? Remington Steele! Look it up. Look it up. It's a great show from the 80s. Okay, anyway, yeah, that's where I first heard of Pierce Bronson. Okay, I watched a couple episodes, so what? I was a kid. All right. Then you got Aldous Hodge. He's this black guy. He's been in a lot. He's been in 2 Die Hard movies. He's one of the little kids in Die Hard 3. Remember that? He's one of Samuel L. Jackson's nephews. Remember? Yeah, they had to go to school after they stole that shit. Anyway, they're walking around with stolen property. Anyway, yes, Aldous Hodge. Okay, he's turned up in a few things now. Now he was in this fucking movie for Netflix, I think it was, or Amazon Prime. about one night in November or December, whatever the fuck, where he plays, I guess he played Jim Brown, the football player or something, and him and Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X, they all like fucking had a meeting together where they just talked about how cool it was to be black in the racist 60s. This actually scene here where all these people got together and talked one night never actually fucking happened in real life, but this movie makes you think that it did. Okay, so they're all fucking there. Yeah, he was in that. That's the only thing I can remember him seeing. But he does a pretty good Hawkman, but we don't know if he's Carter Hall, the alien from Thanagar, from the planet Thanagar, or if he's Carter Hall, the Egyptologist, okay, from Earth, okay. Hawkman was part of the JSA too. He's been around since the 40s as well, okay. But he was white. He was white, not black. He was white. They race swapped. Now, you're going to hear a lot of the critics are talking shit about this movie. They get a horrible score because it's not woke enough. No, this movie's pretty woke. It's pretty woke. Whenever you have to race swap a character, you're fucking woke. Okay? You might not be as woke as something like, say, Batgirl, or She-Hulk. Okay? But if you ever race swap a character, and by race swap, that means you always turn a white person black. Okay? They never turn a white character Mexican or Asian. And I'm fucking Mexican. No, they never do that. It's always, they take a white character, usually a redhead, and turn him into a black character. And if you say anything about it, you're racist, okay? But yeah, you never do it. You never take a black character and turn him white. Never do that. Anyway, so yeah, it's woke. Just not as woke as some other shit out there, but it's woke, okay? You turn fucking a white character who's been a white character since the 1940s, and you turn him black for no fucking reason. Okay, your fucking main character, Black Adam, is not white. He's never been white. He's always been Egyptian. So why the fuck do you got to start changing the white characters? Okay, put a fucking black character in there for Christ's sake. Put Mr. fucking Terrific in there. The second Mr. Terrific is a black guy. Put him in there. Put Black Lightning in the movie for Christ's sake. Have the lightning powers against each other. But don't fucking take a white character and turn him black. Jesus Christ, you're supposed to be anti-woke, not woke. There's plenty of black characters out there you can pick. Don't fucking change one. This shit like this pisses me off. And this ain't the only one they did it to. They did a Cyclone. There's another character and I know who the fuck she was. She's a nothing character, so I don't really care. But they turned her into a black girl, or half black, half white. Well, I don't know. But she was white. She's a redhead in the comic books, and now she's a black girl with red hair. Why? She's pretty, don't get me wrong, she's a very attractive girl, but she's a pixie. She's just happy-go-lucky young girl with her cyclone powers, very optimistic. But she's also new, so she's got to follow orders. Hawkman, I guess, is the leader. He's got this huge mansion. He answers to Amanda Waller. He's got this kick-ass Thanagarian ship, and I don't know if he acquired it or if he's from Thanagar himself. Who fucking knows? They don't tell us. We're being introduced to this team for the first time. We're supposed to act like we already know who they are, and we don't. So any sort of history about them, their origins, how they got their powers, are relegated to a few sentences that they say to each other, and that's it. We don't see anything, all right? But luckily, Aldis Hodge is a good actor, so he does play Hawkman pretty well. I will give him that. I believed he was Hawkman because of the acting. He acted like Hawkman, so I will give him that. He didn't look like Hawkman, but he acted like Hawkman. So I will give him that, okay? All right. So I'm going to stop my review right here, and I'll be back soon with the next chapter in the Black Adam movie. Thank you for watching this long, and I'll see you soon on the next one. Bye.